The number 1 is Robert Francis. The number 7 is Caleb Eckert. The 15 is Mason Phillips. The 41 is Justin Guile. The 44, Josh Scanlon. The 72 is Katina Russell. The 74, the black and yellow 74, is Veronica Fuller. The tie-dyed number 74, that is James McIntosh. Will Gates, the number 83. The 97, the green KDM car, the 97, that is Zach Orvis. The silver 97, that is Sean Stiles. The 171, that is Corey Meyer. The 319 is Corey Gates. The 878, Jake Woodard. The 18B is Adrian Bigelow. The 65S, that is Tim Greenfield Sr. The 73T, Tim Greenfield. The 85B, Eric Brown. And the Adrian Gilbert JYD, the Junkyard Dog, they are off and sliding. Well, they were all in a hurry till they got to turn number 1. Slipping and sliding, turn number 2. As they go down to the back stretch. I can't help it, Leonard. I gotta laugh. This is a riot. I don't know if you guys have ever done one of these enduros, if you've had the opportunity to do it, but this has got to be just, it's like a Northern New York winter. Just go out and drive around on the slop and see what happens. First car to complete lap number 1. I have no idea who it was. Didn't see a number on the car. So all the way to the top of the racetrack, we do have one way to the outside of the speedway. That is the number 97. That is the Zach Orbis, number 97, I believe, as they work off turn number 2 down the back stretch here. 30 laps will be the distance or the extent of the carnage. A couple of cars sliding here on the front stretch. The 74 of Veronica Fuller down the front stretch. The number 319 being very careful. That is Corey Gates slipping and sliding all the way down the front stretch here. The 15 back to the line very quickly was Mason Phillips. Guys starting to pick up the pace here a little bit. Uh-oh, look out for the minivan in the middle! The minivan getting together with a couple other cars up there in turn number 2. One car going to a stop up in turn number 2 is going to get a shot in the back bumper. I'm telling you what, the scariest thing in the world has got to be to break down on one of these things and end up just sitting out on that speedway for the remainder of the race. The 83 down the front stretch, that is Will Gates. Will Gates up next to the concrete wall. There's the 74 of Veronica Fuller down to the bottom as they come by again. The number 15 of Mason Fuller. The 44, the minivan out there, that is Josh Scanlon. And the minivan seems to be getting it done in a hurry as he'll go all the way to the top side of the speedway. The 73T down the front stretch, that is Tim Greenfield. Greenfield right through the middle of the racetrack. The number 1 down here at the bottom, that is Rob Francis. And he's going to get passed by the 74 of James McIntosh. McIntosh went to the outside. I'm going to be completely honest, folks. I have no idea who the leader is out here, but that's why we have 4 people up here scoring this event in the tower. I'm just going to tell you who these guys are. So the 319 down the front stretch, that is Corey Gates. The number 15 going by again, Mason Phillips making up some huge ground here. Again, the 44 of Josh Scanlon. The 18B, that is Adrian Bigelow. Bigelow worked off the bottom of turn at number 2, doing a great job. The 878 of Jake Woodard, also getting around this speedway in pretty good shape. A couple of cars actually doing a great job out here. The 73T, Tim Greenfield again, making quick laps around the racetrack. The number 74 of James McIntosh as well. So at this point of the race, looks like everybody's still going. Nope, just as I said that, there's a car sitting the wrong direction over in turn number 3. Mike Frazier up on the, okay, 5 laps are in the book. Okay, 5 laps in. Mike Frazier, rooftop right now, is sitting up there watching. And Mike Frazier, I don't think he's ever had to move a camera this slow before. He went from sprint cars to Enduro in one night. So some cars are still headed in the right direction. We got a couple of facing the wrong way. One right in the middle of the speedway, turn number 3. The 65S, that is Tim Greenfield Sr. down here. I'll tell you what, that minivan is really getting it done in that 94. There's the number 97 of Sean Stiles, able to race up in there as well. Sean Stiles down the front stretch. The 878 machine, that belongs to Jake Woodard. The 319 also down the front stretch here. The 319 is Corey Gates. There's the number 17 going by, the 17, or the 171 I should say, Corey Meyer also out there. Still running at this point. You would think eventually this track would start to come to these guys. The number 83 down here, Will Gates going by again down the front stretch. That car, I have no idea. There's no number on it. There's nothing. I don't know how we're going to score that one. The 18B of Bigelow here down the front stretch. I don't know if windshield wipers are such a great idea on that. He's really smudging everything up on the front of that one.
And he's got minivan, he's got, you know.
The one with the American flags down the front stretch. That is the 85B of Eric Brown. Eric Brown down to turn number 1 and 2. There's the 319 again of Corey Gates coming by here on the front stretch. The 15 again belongs to Mason Phillips as they continue to circulate here around the speedway. Going by the number 74 of Veronica Fuller, the 44 machine again of Josh Scanlon. I'll tell you what, the minivan might have been the way to go here tonight. The KDM green at number 97 of Zach Orvis just went by. Zach's going to drive way up to the top of the hill in turn at number 1 and 2, drifted up to the top side of the speedway. Jake Woodard going by once again in the 878. Corey Myers, number 171, down the front stretch here. So a couple cars still scattered around the racetrack. Now we're getting some obstacles out there on the speedway that they're going to have to work around here. Well, the unofficial leader at this point would be the number 15 of Mason Phillips. Phillips is your leader coming off turn number 4 right down here in the front stretch. Mason Phillips in the number 15 car leading the way as we complete lap number 10.
Uh-oh.
Got a little bug killing going on up there in turn number 1 and 2. The top of turn number 1, taking care of any mosquitoes that may be at that end of the racetrack. Also going to take care of some mosquitoes over there at the bottom of turn number 2 as well.
Red, turn 2.
All right, folks, we are going to put out the red flag here. We do have a car smoking very heavily over in turn number 2. Obviously, fire is one of those things that we will not mess around with here. And when you see heavy smoke out of that, we want to make sure that everything is okay. So we will stop very quickly, get everybody to slow down. Obviously, it's almost impossible to get these guys stopped out here on the speedway, but we'll take a quick look over there in turn number 2. That is the 878 of Jake Woodard. Woodard was actually running some very quick laps around here in that 878 machine. Jake is out of the car, which is a great sign over there. As we said, the only reason we ever stop an Enduro is to make sure everything is okay if we do have a fire out on the speedway. And looks like fire extinguisher going to be used over there to douse any little problem they've got in turn number 2. Jake Woodard looks like his night will be done here. And I'll tell you what, a big tip of the hat to all the cars that did stop. He put out the red flag. These guys did slow down. And we'll get them stopped here once again. The number 15 right down here on the front stretch. As I said, unofficially your leader. That is Mason Phillips in the number 15 right down here on the front stretch. Getting ready to turn them loose one more time here in just a second. As soon as we clear the racetrack over in the turn at number 2.
Here comes some baker. No one's been in here.
Here's the tricky part now, folks. You got these cars scattered all over the racetrack, sitting still, and we got to tell them to go again. This ought to be interesting. As soon as we clear the racetrack over there on the backstretch, I could yell go, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to hear me all the way over there in turn number 3. I got a big mouth. It's not that big, so I don't think they would hear me over there, but we could try. But we're going to send a couple of track trucks around to let these guys know that it is time to go back to green flag racing action. We go back at it again. Here we go. Green flag is back out on the speedway. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
4-wide battle out of turn number 4. As they come racing down the front stretch here. Hard to tell what the numbers are anymore as they come down. 65S and Tim Greenfield, one of those cars way up to the top of the racetrack, turn number 2. Couple of cars hung up together over in turn number 3. Well, one was hung up, the other one's going to drive away. Can't really tell. It looks like the car on the inside of turn number 3 may be hung up on a track tire. Not really sure what's going on over there, if he's just parked or if he's still trying to... Hey, Mike Frazier with a roof over there, up on the roof. Get a good shot of that purple car over there in turn number 2. What do we got going on over there? Is he just hung up? Is he spinning his tires? Oh, I think he's really stuck, Mike. Both front wheels right up in the air as he sits on that Uke tire. That is the number 72 of Katina Russell. So Katina Russell, tough break sitting on top of that tire. Unless she gets contact from somebody else, she's going to be stuck up there on that tire for the remainder of the show. You never know. Somebody might run into her to loosen her up over there on the backstretch. Car skating all over the front stretch. Corey Gates, number 319, down here dragging, looks like half the muffler and a bumper down the front stretch. The 171 of Corey Meyer still running. There's the 15. That is Mason Phillips. Like I said, unofficially, that is your leader, Mason Phillips. Really getting around this speedway in a hurry, as well as Josh Ganlon in the number 44. And the 85B of Eric Brown also getting around here very quickly. 73T of Tim Greenfield going by us once again down here. Greenfield also starting to pick up the pace. There's the 18B. That's Adrian Bigelow down into turn number 1 and 2. I got a text from the Durham family. They said, hey, push the purple car off the tires. So they saw it before we did up here. Saw the purple car over there. That's one thing I'm going to miss about this place is the Durham family. I won't get to see them as often anymore. Great group of people. A lot of fun hanging out with them. Always had great talks with JR over in the pit area when he was racing regular. It was one of the first stops I would make through the pit area to hang out and talk with those boys. Always a lot of fun. So now we got cars scattered around the speedway. We got, like I said, the purple one hung up on the tire over there. We got one off the top of turn number 2, one at the bottom of turn number 2. There's a car parked off turn number 1 to the outside of the speedway. One up against the concrete wall all the way over in turn number 3. The minivan is still going. I don't know if that's a minivan or a short bus. I'm not really sure. I think the car that just went by, not 100% positive, with James McIntosh down into turn number 1 and 2. McIntosh drifting up to the top of the hill. The 74 just going by. That is the Veronica Fuller number 70. So Veronica's still going, one of our young lady drivers out here this evening. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm looking at the scoreboard over in the infield, so I'm guessing we're roughly halfway there. The 85B, I believe, still going with the American flags down here. Eric Brown down into turn number 1 and 2. The number 18B also making some quick laps around. That is Adrian Bigelow continuing to run. There's the 74 of Veronica Fuller. The number 17, I think this said 17. It might have been 171 of Corey Meyer on top of the roof on that one. The number 319 of Corey Gates still running. The 15 of Mason Phillips just getting around this place in a hurry. Then the number 44 of Josh Scanlon chasing down the front stretch. The 65S, that one belongs to Tim Greenfield Sr. James McIntosh, I believe, is the car that just went by. It's hard to read the numbers on these things now. They are starting to pick up a little bit of speed. A couple of cars together over in turn number 2, getting twisted around, slipping and sliding. Looks like a Walmart parking lot in January in northern New York. Here comes a whole bunch of them off turn number 4, like a herd of turtles down the front stretch. Folks, keep an eye on these cars that are slipping and sliding in turn number 4. That's what it looks like when my wife drives. She's not watching, I can say that. Look out. Oh my God. I'm sorry you gotta laugh. That was fun. Bigelow giving a little bit of push all the way down the front stretch. Oh, the 171 Corey Meyer. There's the 15 again. Anybody have any idea what that number of that car is? Here we go down the front stretch again, the 78T of Greenfield, down into turn at number 1 and 2.
They're going to call this after so many laps. 30 laps.
Hey, Mike LeClaire, you have any idea what's going on? He's not even listening. The 85B down the front stretch, Eric Brown showing the colors very proudly. Got the flag waving right off the back of that race car as he does a great job. Slid sideways into turn number 1, gathered it right back up. The 319 again down the front stretch here. That one belonging to Corey Gates as they come down the front stretch. "20 laps in, just 10 more to go." Well, now it's starting to get tricky. The track actually, in spots, is starting to tack up just a little bit, so some of these guys and girls are able to pick up a little bit of speed. The problem is they get to the turn, the car don't want to turn, so they got to be really careful with that. 21 laps in on, obviously, our lead car. Whoever completes the 30 laps first, obviously, will be your winner. Some people aren't going to make it quite that far, but we'll keep an eye on that. I love how the 319 is continuing to go sideways over in turn number 1 and 2. It looks like the guts underneath that car have puked out the rear end and he's dragging them with him. But he still continues to make his way around the race. Boy, it got quiet all of a sudden out here. Everybody's on the back stretcher at turns number 3 and 4. And quiet over here on the front stretch for a second. Not anymore. Tell you what, Veronica Fuller is still going in that 74. Not the quickest thing out there, but completing lap after lap. And that is the trick when it comes to these Enduros. It's not how fast you go, it's how quick you can complete every lap. Greenfield down here on the front stretch has a problem on the 78T. Going to slow right down here on the front stretch. May collect a lot of mud. That's the problem. You get mud up under these things. The wheels don't want to turn anymore. That is Tim Greenfield Sr. down here on the front stretch. Looks like he's going to push it all the way around and keep going as cars begin to stock up all over the speedway here. So the racing action continues. Here comes the 44 again of Josh Scanlon down the front stretch. I like the sign on top of the Bigelow, number 18B, Adrian Bigelow. That's a nice way to do it. That thing looks beautiful. You can read it real easily. The number 15 of Mason Phillips going by. The number 319 of Corey Gates still running strong. Looking for the James McIntosh car. I lost it here a second ago. Had it. Now I can't find him out on the speedway.
Five laps to go. Yep. Should be fine.
Unofficially, right now, your leader is the 15 of Mason Phillips. Second is the 44 of Josh Scanlon. That is unofficial, obviously. as they continue to circulate around the speedway here. Under 5 more laps to go. Your leader is the number 15, the number 15 of Mason Phillips. He is all the way over in turn number 2 as he has really figured this thing out. So Rachel Durham just sent me a text up here. James is out of the car over in turn number 3 being checked out by EMT over there. She says he is okay, but he got T-boned pretty good. That's why I couldn't find the James McIntosh car out on the speedway. He took a hard lick, so he's over off turn number 3 being checked out, and we're glad. She said he is okay, which is good news, obviously. You hate to see anything happen to these guys and girls out here just having a lot of fun on a Saturday night. Thanks, Rachel, for the update. Well, you can tell now the batter of attrition as cars start to drop off and we start losing more and more vehicles out on this racetrack. Guys looking for room to run. The 15, your leader, actually starting to slow down a little bit. Not sure the 44 can catch him. Unofficially, the leader is the 15, second place is the 44. So we may come down to a battle here the last couple of laps as they go off turn number 2. Right now the 15 of Mason Phillips gets off turn number 2. He's got about a half a straightaway advantage over the 44 of Josh Scanlon as they head down to turn number 3 and 4. So he said unofficially first and second place. We'll keep an eye on that as they continue. Somebody's got a flat tire. As they come off turn number 3 and 4 this time. There's your leader down the front stretch. Here comes the 44. Somebody just lost some rubber off the front here. Coming right off the wheel down the front stretch. Hey, Lindsay, you know the good thing about this is after the race is over, we're going to take all the people left in the stands and they're going to help clean the racetrack up. Yeah, I'll bet that doesn't happen. Nope. Somebody grab a broom. So the white flag coming out for the number 15 of Mason Phillips. We said unofficially your leader down the front stretch. Here comes second place. That is the 44 of Josh Scanlon. Scanlon getting a little help towards turn number 1. Not sure if Scanlon's going to be able to get to... oh, there he goes. The short bus is facing the wrong direction. Oh, the mini, there you go, go backwards. Hey, it'll work. Oh, he lost something in the front end. Well, Josh Gannon, that minivan, he's going to be in trouble because I think they wanted to take that and pick up groceries on the way home. Since he's got the grocery getter, he's going to drive across the infield. Here's your winner down the front stretch. That is the number 15 of Mason Phillips. Phillips is going to be the leader. As we said, Josh Scanlon in the minivan. He's supposed to take that and go grocery shopping after this.